All right. So how are you guys? You excited? Yes. Excited to hear from Miss Diane Lungdren, my $1 billion director friend. So excited that she's here. So you guys are going to get to hear from her in a minute, and I'm going to pretty much let her talk a ton, or talk as much as her little heart's desire, her heart desires. But I'm going to go through some announcements first, share a little bit about our weekend, because we had an amazing weekend that I want a couple of consultants to share about. So lots of great things going on tonight. First of all, please tell me you guys remember that Mary Kay is offering an awesome deal on the starter kit this month. Yes. We all remember this, right? You don't want to forget about it, because I know there's like a week left in the month and it's really easy to forget about an awesome promo like this. Be all excited about it in the beginning, but you guys, if we use it and have a massive amount of new team members, they may keep it up and do more promos like that. So we definitely want to take advantage of it, right? Do you want to do that? And then and our goal is to have 50 new consultants this month. Can we do it? Yes, we can. And when we do that, I'm going to do a drawing for $500 cash. Who wants to win $500? Okay, so let's start sharing. All right. And then you get prizes when you have three agreements and 5 agreements this month, and you get some gifts from me. You have gorgeous jewelry, that red jewelry that'll go with your red jacket when you have 3, and you get the cute little tumbler. I don't know where it went when you have 5. And then of course we're also tracking faces. You guys know all the promos are on here, right? When you do 15 faces and 30 faces, you get prizes, and when you do 10 career chats and 20 career chats, you're going to get different prizes. Are you guys using that to ask people to be faces for you? And to have people just listen? Now, if they just listen, they have to follow up with me. Like those of you that stood up for career chats, they have to follow up with me to count for the career chats, okay? So that can be, which by the way, you guys know, I'm sure most of you here saw that we did a marketing call over the weekend with me and Stacey Faust and Lisa Ann, and that number is still going to be up. And so I would recommend to use that also if they have them watch the video or that number, and then like that number isn't going to go bad. It was a great marketing call. There were tons of people that signed up after listening to that call. So use it. I would encourage you, if you didn't hit your 5, like I said, I give you a prize if you had 5 people just listen. I don't think anyone hit it, and so why not just not stop until you hit your 5, right? Ask people to just listen. Send me their information afterwards. I posted the number on our Facebook page. Okay, what else? The bracelet, the Courage bracelet. Please tell me you remember the bracelet this month says Courage on it, right? And what are we? The courageous area. So we want to have a ton of bracelet earners. So be sure to earn your bracelet this month. Wouldn't it be cool to have everyone in the room earn their bracelet? How do you earn your bracelet? $600. Okay, 600 wholesale or more. We're going to talk about some ways to do that later. And let's see what else. Got the Consistency Club, and then new DIQ requirements. You guys know, if you ever have a desire to get into DIQ, now's the time to do it. November 1st and December 1st, you want to get in. I think that's the main announcements. That the upcoming events going on are next week. We're having our last Party with a Purpose for October, and so here's the flyer. Well, we'll change the date, but you guys know that we're donating a portion of the sales next Monday night to breast cancer research. So people tend to be all about helping a good cause. So, which by the way, you guys, don't let October go by without doing something for breast cancer awareness or domestic violence awareness. What have you guys done? Like, have you guys gotten into places? Elizabeth, come up here and talk, because I want them to hear about it, because it's really important, you guys. This last week, it's really important that you get into a place and use all things that are available to you. So what did you do, Elizabeth? So
I only ended up going to 2 places. I had my daughter with me, so it was kind of crazy, you know. But I made it work for me because she's super cute. I kind of made that work for me.
She worked.
I went to First Planet Fitness, which is down the street from me, and I figured gym. Gym is the best way to go because they're all about fitness. They're all about health. And so I went to the first place, manager wasn't there. That was totally a bad thing, because a friend of mine works there and said, don't go to Planet Fitness. They're kind of iffy about those things. So I went to Gold's Gym. I don't know if you guys are all local, off of Briargate.
I think
so. The guy was there, manager. He was all gung-ho about it. He's like, yeah, can you make a pamphlet so I can show my boss? Because he was the general manager. I went in today, dropped off. I'm calling him tomorrow morning. And my goal is to get in there Friday. And Gold's Gym, I was telling Candace this morning, they do movie nights. They have like this big, I was there at 10 a.m. and their parking lot was packed. So that's something. And then what I did was, we talked about this, I made the little pink satchels and I had 4 different perfumes. And I have our new one, I'm thinking of you, Bella, and the Cheese Sprinkles. So I have 2 of our new ones and 2 of our good popular ones. And I divided them up so they're not, fighting each other. So I'm passing those out. I'm going to have flyers showing about breast cancer awareness and self-exams. And I'm also doing a $15 giveaway. That's it. I'm not bringing any product with me. I'm just, it's all informational. So my goal is to get that done this week. And he was really excited. Their gyms, I feel like that's a good one to get into.
Yeah.
So.
Good job, Elizabeth. And you just asked, like, I would have never thought Gold's Gym, that huge gym, that they would have been open to it. You just never know. Just ask. But you guys can go into like delis and other businesses, any business. Like there's nothing wrong in just asking to do a customer appreciation to raise awareness for the Mary Kay Charitable Ash Foundation. And then were you raising your hand for something?
I would say yes. I actually spoke. I'm fixing to head out tonight for Lord goes my daughter, and so I was at the kennel dropping off the dog, and she's a good friend, and I just said, "Hey, can I leave a box here for the week while I'm gone?" And anybody who ends up ordering or connecting with me from this is I'm gonna donate back to our local no-kill shelter through it, and then we're also talking about the Mary Kay Ash Foundation as well.
Good. And I would say any faces you see this month, maybe you choose personally to donate a portion of the sales or whatever, or $1 per face to the Mary Kay Charitable Foundation. Like, women like to help a good cause. They do. And so we get to do those things in our business, which is pretty cool. So don't let October go by without that. And then the other thing, a couple announcements for in November. November 2nd, we have tax night coming up. Now, Tanya is going to be in charge of that, and she asked me for a head count because apparently the tax guy needs to know. So raise your hand if you plan on coming. Hold on, keep your hands raised. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And if you don't raise your hand, you're still more than welcome to come. We just want a rough head count. So he's going to come. It's a Thursday night. It's here. And you can bring your man if you want, but you don't have to. And it is $5, and it does include dinner. And so that's kind of cool because you always got to feed the guys, right? So, all right. And then the other thing is, last week we announced that we're going to do an open house, a studio-wide open house here, which is such a good thing. Those of you that have a desire to do an open house and have been, watching the holiday hangouts and all of that stuff, an open house is great if you have a big customer base. If you don't have a big customer base, do not do it. That way, I don't know what Diane thinks, but I think it's way too much work if you have a very small customer base. That the studio directors are pulling together. We're going to do all the work for you. So we're going to have everything all displayed. We'll have different tables and stuff. You can have your customers come, and you're going to make all the money. Like, if one of your customers buy anything, it's your sale. You get to offer any sales or promotions you want to run. But basically, they're going to come and be able to see the holiday products and like holiday gift giving ideas and all of that. But we're going to set it all up for you. It's great. And then so it's 2 days. I posted this on our Facebook page, but it's Thursday, November 16th from 9 to 5. And Friday, November 17th from 9 to 7. And you choose what times you want to offer that to your people. So if you don't want to be there the whole time, then you tell your customers it's Friday from 4 to 7. You know what I mean? Like, because you're going to want to be there in the times that your customers are going to want to be there. We as directors are rotating. We're each going to work shifts. So there will be a director here during that time. But if you're going to have your customers there, like, you just book the times with your customers that you want to have them come. Does that make sense? So you don't have to be there Thursday 9 to 5 and Friday 9 to 5, but I would book. Here's what I know about open houses is that you can say, hey, come at these times, but then you want to RSVP with them and say, hey, I want to schedule times that I can make sure that I have my full attention. So Dina, when do you think that you will be there? And then you set up that time so that you're there when she's going to be there. Because if you tell somebody, come from 9 to 5, then there's not a commitment for her to come at any time. And guess what happens? The whole day goes by and she's like, oh, shoot, it's 5:30 and I forgot to go. But if you say, hey, Dina, I know that you plan on coming sometime on Thursday. what time-ish do you think that that you're going to be there so that I can make sure to be there? Because you get her to commit to a time. Does that make sense? And so don't just tell them, hey, come anytime between this time and this time. You tell them they can't come between times, but then in the follow-up, you make her kind of commit to a time range. Does that make sense? So she's a lot more likely to come. So be sure to utilize that.
Product. Do we need, it needs to be our product, right?
No.
No?
No, it'll just be a display. So it'll just be a display. You'll be taking orders.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell the product that's there because it's the director's product.
Obvious.
Yeah, no. So it's going to have everything all displayed. Like we'll have everything all displayed pretty. And then if someone wants to buy something, you write up your own sales ticket. You're going to give her your product. And if it's wrapped up in some gift giving thing, then you say, all right, I'll deliver it to you, and you go home and make it look kind of like that. Does that make sense? So no, you're not going to sell the director's product. It's just displayed. Like it's just going to be displayed, and then you would, she would buy it from you. So yeah.
Quick question. There are certain things that are sold out. Are you going to have those displayed or
No. We won't have that. Yeah, no. We won't have sold out product. Mm-mm.
Okay, that's okay.
Are you going to have consultants here helping?
We probably won't need. I mean, you guys can come if you want, but we'll be there manning it, and I think it'll be fine. Okay. I don't know. I'm speaking for everyone else, but I think we'll be fine. I think there'll probably be enough people here hanging out, like I'm like people. But I'm just telling you that I would try and book a time with your customers. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, any other questions about all the announcements and stuff coming up? All righty, so we're going to share from retreat really quickly, and then you'll get to hear from Miss Diane. So Sabri and Debbie, where are you? I'm going to have them both come up here. So we got to go to an awesome retreat in Florida with $3 million directors, and so I'm going to have you guys share. And so Sabri, I'm going to have you pull your chair up here, and then Debbie, I'll have you sit right here. So that way our computer people can hear. Okay. Our online people can hear. So, first of all, just introduce yourself, Miss Debbie.
My name is Debbie Davies. I am a consultant in Brenda Cooney's unit in Denver. And I'm friends with Candace and Brianna, and they graciously let me come visit.
Yeah. Isn't that the cool thing? She had some people in Colorado Springs, and she's like, can I come down? I'm like, sure. Book them. So yeah.
To expand
So share about the weekend, girl. What were your takeaways?
Okay. Well, it was very, very powerful, and it was very nice to hear from other people. I would say one of my biggest takeaways was them saying, because we get inspired, right? We get excited, we get all into it, and they're like, instead of going home and doing everything, go home and do one thing. So my one takeaway was do one thing, and then you can add another thing, but just focus on that one thing. And so my one thing is to keep it fun, because people are more likely to participate if it's fun. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about you, but like for me, there's days that I'm like, yeah, and I'm calling people and it's going good, and I'm sure it's just me. It's not you.
Oh no, I'm sure.
But there's other days that I'm just nobody wants to tell anybody. They're gonna say no, and I'm gonna be sad. I'm just kind of not in the
mood.
Yeah, I'm just crabby. And so
nobody gets crabby, I'm sure. No.
But my thing is to have an escape plan. Is how I'm thinking of it. An escape plan. What am I going to do on those days that it's not fun, and I'm not keeping it fun, and I'm in a bad mood? What's my escape plan? And my escape plan is to take some quiet time, some personal time with God, or whatever your quiet time is for you. And if nothing else, that'll be a success for the day, right? Having that quiet time.
Have an escape plan. That's huge, you guys, because you are going to hit those times. We all have those days. I have those days. Diane, I'm sure, has those days. I think, maybe. I don't know. We all look at each other and think, oh, Rachel could never have one of those days. But when we're around people, we're happy. But when we're alone is really when the mope sets in, right? And the doubt sets in. And I believe it's the devil totally setting in and like planting those seeds of doubt. Oh, can you really do this? You can't really do this, when you're alone. So it's usually when you're alone that you have those moments. You have to be prepared. And we need this. We need the community. That's why the meetings are so important. That's why the retreat that we just went to was so important, because we need that time to connect, because it re-energizes our soul. It re-energizes our soul. And, so many times when we pull away, we think, oh, I don't need to go to the meeting because I don't have anything great. Nothing great happened this last week. No, that's why you need to go to your meeting. That's why you need to go to your meeting, is because you need your meeting. If you had a great week, your meeting needs to hear from you, right? But we need each other. Yeah. So you have an escape plan. What else? What else?
Oh my gosh, I can go on forever.
Share.
Developing muscle memory. Oh, this is so cool. I happen to play piano, and one of the people there also played piano. And she also gave the example of, if you play tennis, or if you took dance as a kid, or soccer, or whatever, you develop muscle memory when you practice, right? So if you play piano, right, you practice the scales, and the reason you practice the scales is so that you remember how to do them. So if you practice your scales, or if you practice your serve once a month, how good are you? Okay.
Not very good.
But if you practice them every day, they just get easier and easier and easier. So it's not that you have to be some tennis pro, or some concert pianist, or some $1 million director.
They don't know what they're doing either. Right. We're still learning.
If you just do it every day, it just gets easier. And you develop muscle memory. And you just remember when you pick up the phone to smile. So I thought muscle memory was a really great, that was another one that really struck my heart.
Yeah, and it takes practice. I mean, there's a lot of new people in the room who are like, oh man, I've been in for 2 weeks and I suck. Well, if you do anything for 2 weeks, you're not good at it, right? It takes time. And we as women are the worst because we want to be good at everything. We want to be good at everything, and we don't take the time. Yeah, we don't take time, and we want it right now. Exactly. We want to be good right now. And I wish I had a magic button that could be like, poof, poof, poof. You're amazing and a pro. Yeah, she's like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the poop. Nope, it's not, well, I can poop you, but it's not going to change anything. But you've got to believe it, and you've got to take the time to do the work that it takes to practice, just like tennis or piano or anything else. I mean, professional athletes, you don't just wake up a professional athlete. Oh my gosh. So most of those professional athletes were like playing that sport since they were 2. I mean, seriously. And so who are you to think that you're going to be amazing at this after a week, a month, even a year? I mean, I still feel like I'm still learning and not a pro. We're joking, but in all seriousness, I don't feel like I'm a pro at anything. That's why I go to these things. I'm always learning. I was taking a ton of notes because we're always learning. We are never a master at anything, but we're always learning. Of course, we get better, but we're always learning. So good. Cool. All right, Sabri, how about you?
We love you, Sabri.
We love Sabri.
You can talk, Sabri.
Share. Do you mind, Debbie? Do you mind trading spots so people can see her? Yeah, you gotta come sit here, hon, so they can hear you. I'm no pressure or anything. There's nobody on there. Don't worry. It's cool.
I'm not
I'm just kidding.
okay.
So some things I learned, I just kind of listed some things out, but if you doubt yourself for a second, then it'll set yourself back a year.
Write that down. That was a big one. Say that louder so they can hear it.
If you doubt yourself a second, it'll set yourself back a year.
Set you back a year. When she said that, it was hilarious. Us $3 million directors back there were like, oh, there goes our goal of national. It's set back a year because we doubted for a second. Oh, it was like this groaning sound. You're like, oh man. Anyways, it's so good. If you doubt yourself, I'm gonna expand on that. If you doubt yourself for a millisecond, you're setting yourself back on your
And then she also said that your job is to keep your mindset, and yeah, there's just no room for doubt. Be consistent. You don't know when the harvest is coming, even with no end in sight. You just keep filling others up. Just keep focusing on other people and take genuine interest in them and brighten their days. And we're all about the other person, and that there's no need to impress people, and you turn off your people skills when you want to impress someone.
Ooh, did you hear that?
Yeah, say that.
That was a good one. Say it again.
We are all about the other person. Okay. You turn off your people skills when you want to impress someone.
Do you hear that? You turn off your people skills when you want to impress someone. Isn't that interesting? That you become all about you is the problem, and not focused on her and how can I bless her, right? So when we get nervous at our facials and we're like, I gotta impress them and look like I know what I'm doing and be a master, then you decrease your people skills and you're not able to fully focus on her and bless her. I know. That's good. Good. What else? That was a good one. That's good. Okay, you guys have to share about the charcoal mask thing because we were on the marketing call and I hear it was really, really good. So
Okay, it was great. So,
you gonna grab one? Say
I
her
don't
switch with her. I'm gonna
have
make her switch again
I
so
don't
she
have one,
can
but I'm
so
gonna
they
grab
can hear
this
her.
thing.
Gonna grab this thing. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I have a charcoal mask. I don't think it really matters, does
It
it?
doesn't matter.
We all know what a charcoal mask looks
You
like.
guys can visualize.
Yes.
Okay.
We are able to visualize. Yes.
So we're pretending that this money bag is actually a pillow box. So a pillow box is
You know
this
what pillow
kind of
box
a
is?
shape, but it puffs up on this side and puffs up on this side. So it looks like a pillow, and it's a box.
Okay.
Right? So we're pretending this is a pillow box. You put a charcoal mask with your label in there and a gift certificate, and you can determine the amount. They were suggesting $25. So you've got a $24 charcoal mask and a $25 gift certificate in this pillow box, and you
Now
wrap
the
it
gift
with a bow.
certificate has to be used at a facial. So that person has to book with you. And it
Right.
says it on there.
You don't no
Yeah.
online order or anything.
No.
The point is, that is going to be, that $25 gift card is a follow-up appointment,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're gonna get the charcoal mask as a gift. They're getting this $25 gift certificate as a gift, and part of the gift is they get to get pampering with you and try other products. And so, and then you wrap it with a bow, and this gift is a $49 value, and they called it a hug.
Oh.
Write that down. Super cute. A hug.
A holiday urgent gift. So when someone shows up at your door, you put it under your tree, you've got your hug, you put it under your tree, someone shows up at your door, Merry Christmas! And you're like,
I didn't get her a gift.
I said,
Oh, I said something else too.
oh darn, I don't have a gift. And you're like, oh, I have your gift right here.
A hug gift. Isn't that cute? Would you call it a holiday unexpected gift? Urgent gift.
Yeah, unexpected, it all works.
Whatever, unexpected urgent.
Yes, but
You can order them online, just Google pillow box. So here's
It
the
could be
plan.
any box, like it could even just be like a square box, just some box that fits
Any box that
the,
holds the charcoal mask.
yeah.
So the point being, it's a $49 value. You're selling it for $30, and you're gonna sell as many of these. She was saying, if you sell 50 of them, that's a $600 wholesale order.
Oh, I think it's way more than that. Oh, I think that'd be, carry on. Sorry, I'm gonna do the math.
60 times 12. 50 times
50
times 12
What's
is gonna
12?
be 600.
Oh, you're doing the
The cost of
wholesale
the
amount.
charcoal.
Oh, you're just doing the wholesale amount.
Yes.
720. You're just doing the wholesale amount. Anyways, well, you could
the
do
point
it.
is,
So I was
sell
gonna say
50
that's
of them.
actually
Sell 60 of them.
$1,400 retail.
Yes, it's $1,400 retail.
Yeah.
But the point is, you can get your bracelet that way.
Yeah.
Right? She was saying you could.
Or even half of those and then reinvest, and have more product. But oh no, carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay. You can also, if you wanted to do them as some sort of a fundraiser, if you wanted to do a fundraiser, you could say, okay, you show them to people, they buy them from you, and then that's their sample. So, if I go to my daughter's Bible study, and they each buy one from me, and now they have a sample, and they go show their friends, and they each sell 10, and then they'll each get $5 or whatever you decide you want to donate to their fundraiser out of that. So they got the fundraiser to raise money for whatever they want to raise money for, but you've got that gift card in there, which is your January follow-up appointment. And so it's very important that whoever you sell these to, you ask them if they know who they're going to give it to, you get that person's contact information so you can follow up with them in January to make sure that they get their $25 gift. Because the charcoal mask is only half of it. You want them to get their $25 gift. If they don't know, then you get their name and number, and then you call them and say, who did you give it to, so that I can follow up with them and make sure they get their $25 gift, and you've got your January.
Not cool? Yeah. So you do it as a fundraiser, because if you go and did a fundraiser, like she said,
she did a band. So she
Yeah.
sold 300 to the bands, and she ended up selling 1,600 total. Oh,
Mhm.
Because
so each kid has one to show, and she's selling all these hug gifts. Super cute. You guys, I'm serious. Yeah.
Stock up on.
Well, you would want to give them, you would want to give them one to, to go show, and then they're going to collect the money, and then you use that money to place the order for the charcoal masks. And then you give them a time frame. So you would go to the school and be like, all right, I want to do a fundraiser. I wouldn't do it more than a month. I would say like 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever. And then give the portion of the sales to the band or the cheerleading or whatever. And you have to have it done by the time, so they can deliver it and have it everything ready for Christmas.
Well, you know what we didn't talk about there, but what I would like to remind you is that the shipping date cuts off. So I would say if you're doing that kind of a fundraiser kind of thing, you want to have all your orders by November 30th.
Yep, absolutely.
Because you have to order those masks the first week of December if you want them in time.
I would say you want to order, the last day of November. I would order the last day of November. And so then then you'll be guaranteed to have it there in time. So this is a promo you want to start now and maybe do from November 1st to 15th or the 15th or 30th or whatever. I wouldn't do it. I think a month is almost too long. You got to give them a short amount of time, because no one can focus that long, let alone kids, right? And then it just loses the excitement. So, but can you see how it could be very advantageous for you? I mean, obviously the money up front, but then more importantly, like those follow-up appointments and all the new customers. Like this is a great lead generating thing for you too.
You were talking about your October party with a purpose, right? You could say, I'm selling these to raise money for cancer research. And every $5 of one of these that I sell, I'm donating $5 to the Mary Kay Foundation to fund research for breast cancer.
Okay, you could do your own thing. Yeah. And I would definitely get several charcoal masks now, so that if you do a fundraiser, then you have them all that you can go give to the kids to show. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something else
Yeah, sure.
This is the, before Mary Kay, I was a computer programmer. So this is I'm the, all the ducks in a row person. So when you say $5 of every one of these that I sell, I'm going to give to the Mary Kay Foundation, that is not tax deductible for them. So when you're saying it's a fundraiser, it's not really a fundraiser. This is something that you're selling so that you can give more yourself. It's not tax deductible
For
the
them,
person you're
yeah.
selling it to.
Well, yeah, because it's a fundraiser for them, right? Got it. Good, Mary.
Well, is it tax deductible for you?
Yes, that's what she said. Mhm. Well, you're donating the portion to the band or whatever to that, so that is a tax deduction. And you choose if it's 25 or 30 or 10% or whatever. So, got it? Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool idea? And you could do that with anything, a very simple idea. So, and I think, you could order the pillow boxes online, but I think if you go to Hobby Lobby or something, you could find a cute little box that's super cheap for like 25, 50
You have
cents.
to go to the dollar store and get a gift bag and put.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like that box.
It was just really cute.
Yeah, it's just cute. But I'm just saying you don't need to wait. You don't need to wait. Does that make sense? And because sometimes you're like, I got to order the box, and then you put it off, and then you don't start now. You can literally start this tonight. So.
Can I go like online on your website and just pay with $30? Can you pay online for it?
No.
Unless they did, like, they would have to, I think you have to bill them probably propay invoice,
Well,
unless they just wanted to buy just the charcoal mask online,
They could buy
and
the
then
charcoal
you
mask
just
done.
wrap it up cute and pretty.
You can't do customer delivery service,
No,
but
no.
they could place the order for the charcoal mask online and enter their credit card, and then you would finish the sale.
Or something like band or.
Well, okay, so if you're doing it for the band, you would instruct them to like how to write up a sales ticket. So they're gonna collect all the people's information, so they're gonna have their name, their address, their phone number, and their credit card info, or the check and who to write it out to. So you're gonna instruct them how to collect the money. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So you can charge it right away.
It's like you're saying it's online, 'cause that's what everyone will tell us to do now.
You would have to that would be up to you if you want to do it. Yeah. You would just have to find some system, and you could do a promo code or something probably. They'd have to like go through it and create an order, create a customer profile, and then do it. So it'd be up to you. Mm-hmm. What I found is it's easier with a kid to just be like, okay, I just need this information right here. It's easier for them. And that's just one extra step that they got to go online. That if the kid's right there and he can get all the information, or she can get all the information, I find it so they're a lot more likely to do it. It's right
Like
there.
the envelope thing with the
Right.
mascara thing.
Right. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Kids excited about that? Great ideas, right? Okay. I'm going to give you a couple other practical ideas, and then I want Diane to be able to talk. But it was it's so cool that you're constantly learning from other people. And I know we've all heard this before, but Lisa Ann Harmon shared about going into an office and doing like office appreciation and honoring working women. And she walks in, I'm gonna grab these because you can just use flowers like this. And instead of, as our new consultants, this has a little thing on it, she had a bunch of flowers. They looked just like this, it was almost just like this. And she had them all with ribbons and her business card on each one. And she literally walked in with this, and then she had a little purse with entry forms, which I don't have that on me. Let me pretend. I don't even know. Yeah, let me pretend. Okay, here's my purse. Yes, there we are. Okay, so she literally had her purse, and there's pens and entry forms in here. That's it. And so she walked into whatever business is, and I'm going to do this so they can see. And you basically, here, Gina, I'm going to role play with you. She walks in and just says, because they're usually like, hey, how can I help you? And you're like, I'm honoring working women today with flowers. Which color would you like? Purple. I don't have purple. No, I do have purple. You can see the purple and I couldn't. Purple. All right, here you go. We as women need to be honored and appreciated all the time, right? And I'm also giving away free pampering packages for facials and makeovers. Go ahead and fill out this form to get entered. All right. And then she just fills it out. And that's it. And she keeps the flower. But yeah, you know, keep the flower. It's literally all it was. And you guys, I know Rachel's on Honored Working Women. I know I've done it. It's super simple. You can go into a place and you just get their names and numbers really quickly. And you can do it in a working environment. And then if there's other women there, you know, you say, oh, do you want a flower? Do you want a flower? You know, and the women love it. It's the craziest thing. Like, I've seen the grumpiest lady, like, just ho-hum. And then you give her a flower and her whole face lights up and her energy just completely changes and shifts. And so with this little stinky flower. So you guys can get those from me. But I just want to be reminded of how simple it is, you know, to just go out and meet people. There's people everywhere. I've done it with chocolates too, where I walk into a store and say, I'm honoring working women with chocolates. Which flavor would you like? You always got to ask them a question of what you want to, you don't ask them if they want a flower or a chocolate. You say, which flavor would you like or which color would you like? So I have like white chocolate and dark chocolate and what are white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. Like, what's the other one? And so I just walk in and I give them the chocolate, and then I'm like, and I'm giving away pampering packages, or I'm doing a drawing, whatever you want to say, but you want to get her name and number back. Super simple. And then one other tip I'll say, and then I promise I'll shut up because I really want Diane to talk, is what I really liked is this idea, and I've heard it before, but I was just reminded, and it's so good. It's going to increase your holding ratio. Could we all get excited about that?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to want to write this down because it was so brilliant. I'm like, oh, duh, why did I never do that? You know how you hear things and you're like, yeah, that's a great idea. And then you think you're going to implement it and then you just don't. Okay, so we're not doing that again. We are learning and now going to implement. So when you're booking winners, she gives them a $25 gift certificate. And obviously she's at a different level. If you're not comfortable doing that, of course, you have to, the more inventory you have, the more free stuff you can give away. But you do want to give them enough. If you just give them a $5 or $10 gift certificate, I feel like they're not as motivated. Like, very few people are going to book with that. And so I would recommend at least giving them somewhere around 20, especially a sharp businesswoman. Okay. So she gives them 25, but basically she says, you know, I don't know. I didn't write down that part, but basically something like, hey, congratulations. You were my winner from my Honoring Working Women today. And you won a pampering package, which includes a facial and a makeover, and a $25 gift certificate. So we just need to find a time that works for us. You go right into booking her. Right. And then this was brilliant. She's like, I have a great idea. Like, it was like this like last minute thing. I have a great idea. How about you share your makeover with 3 to 5 friends and I'll double the free product. And so if she shared it with 3 to 5 friends, double the free product. Super simple hostess plan, nothing complicated. She can have a party without even realizing it. So I have a great idea. How about this? You if you share your makeover with 3 to 5 friends, I'll double that gift certificate. And here's where it got really smart, that I haven't done this before. And I'm going to now. And then she's like, okay, sure, whatever. And then you say, now this is something you have to do on the phone. This cannot be done over text, okay? Over text, you say, hey, when do you have a minute to talk? And then you can go through all this because they can't hear the excitement. It just isn't the same energy. Okay, so I'm going to send you my website, and I want you to register, and I want you to pick your $25 gift certificate and how you're going to use it. And I want you to check out without payment because I'll mark it as a gift. And then the day that we get together, I will have that all wrapped up, all pretty. And if you end up finding some stuff more than $25, that's okay. Just go and pick it. I'll take it off your total. Brilliant. What? I know. Because what does that do is that it gets her looking at the products before she comes. It gets her actually excited about something. It gets her committed to that actual product of, ooh, I want to try this charcoal mask. And then, you know, when you confirm with her, you say, you know, then you're saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I got your order and I have it all wrapped up and ready for you at our appointment. Can't wait to see you. She said her holding ratio has is through the roof. Brilliant, right? Duh, super simple. So there you go. Isn't that awesome?
So
Super
how
duper
do you do
duper
that?
simple.
Because I got confused with the whole, they place the order, but it's going to save it as a gift order? How's that work?
Well, they can place the order and not have to pay. And then you just say process without payment, and then you can offer and then you just charge her that day when you get together. She's just picking. On your website, when people order on your website, it's an option on there. It just says contact me for payment.
Okay.
Mhm.
Contact me.
Yeah, it's fine. Does that make sense? Brilliant. Okay. I want you guys to hear that because that was a cool idea. All right, so now we get to hear from Ms. Diane Lungdren. So I don't even know her accolades. besides, she's a freaking rock star. But what I love most about her though is her heart. This lady has a heart of gold. So, do you mind sitting down? I'm so sorry. No, that way they can see you. I want my people to see you.
Absolutely.
And she is also a first-time $1 million director. So
$1 million director, yes,
yes, we were both
it's so
$1
fun.
million directors together. So
Yes.
take it away, love.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am excited just to share with you guys. And I think what a blessing that Candace and I have been able to travel together as $1 million directors and just building that friendship. And then my daughter is Haley, who's sitting here, which is really awesome. Yay.
Yes.
That's why she really did. And then I but I love you too.
Yeah.
And but I love what she's sharing, and I loved your meeting. I feel like it's very energetic, and I can see why you're the #1 unit in the nation. I love it. And you know what I loved? You know, if some of you, I know they can get their roses from you, and I love your idea of the picking the chocolate. And you want to know what the most reasonably priced, sample we have to give away is like eyeshadow.
Oh yeah.
That I use that a whole lot. Like I'm not a real goodie bag person, but I do buy those organza bags that you can pull because it's super easy and fast. I just put crunchy stuff in there. And if you just put one of our neutrals with a brown, you're going to win with anybody, right? And then using the gift card idea. And I really think these office appreciations work. So now, have you guys talked about really maximizing Halloween on top of breast cancer awareness? Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm sure you guys either know wherever you live, there's got to be a popular area where people trick or treat. Who takes the kids trick or treating usually?
Parents.
Moms and okay. Now, what if you had little goodie bags or printout? I can have Haley post it on your Facebook page too. We have these little 3x4. If you have pink printing stuff, great. But
I printed them out. Yeah.
But if some of you guys are newer in this room, it sounds like we have some newer ladies. You can go to Office Max and there's 6 up on a sheet. It's a little gift card, and they get to double it if they share their facial with a friend. So you could stick that in and I have it, so I'm going to show it to you. And can you imagine if you could say, we're giving gifts for moms and giving away free pampering sessions. And then you have a little clipboard and you write their name and phone number. They don't even have to write anything. Say, how can I connect with you? And you just write it down. You're just going to have a little basket or a bag or a little pumpkin with something on your arm and a tiny little, one of those 4x6 clipboards, because you don't want to look like you're out, like you just want to look like you're out giving treats to the mom. If you want to put candy in there and give away the gift, so make it simple. I think what holds you back, I think you're so right, Candace, is we think we have to have everything perfect and together. And I need to see if I have this in my bag. This is what I carry everywhere I go, okay? So this is my assignment for you this week if you don't have it, okay? Everybody got these in your starter kit, right?
Yes.
Did everybody get one of these in your starter kit? What came in here?
Yeah.
Great, okay. So here's what you're going to do. You are going to, I'll have Haley load this one on your files. This is you can do pink printing if you have pink printing. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It matters that you're going to give them a gift. Everybody say the words, may I give you a gift?
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 And we're treating the moms tonight for trick or treat. And we're also giving away pampering sessions. And I do something when I'm doing something like this, even at the office appreciations, everybody wins. Everybody wins a facial, but you might get a different, we give the $25 gift card. But if I'm doing an office and I've got 5 winners, she might win a mascara. Mm-hmm. I do that just so that it doesn't look gimmicky, that, you know what I mean? So you can do it. This is your business. You're independent. You can figure it out. But for trick or treat, do you have a fall festival coming up this weekend? Why don't you Google the community you live in, find out if anybody's doing a trunk or treat, a fall festival, and then you don't even have to have a table. Mm-hmm. Or we have an area where I live and they literally block off the street, a couple of streets because it's so busy. And moms are walking everywhere. Mm-hmm. And you're just going to hand this out. Do what? With skin. Oh my God. You don't even need to put goodie bags together if you don't want to. You can just be handing out your gift certificates, and these all have their name. They get doubled. Okay, so I would max out Halloween on top of breast cancer awareness, and that's what we're doing. That I live in Arizona, and we are doing that, and we have already targeted the different communities. Like these girls are working Stone Ridge. These girls are working, the downtown area. I mean, like so. But you guys don't have to do that. You guys probably have a much bigger area than I do. So, but anyway, does that sound like you could do that?
Yes.
Yes.
So the key is tapping out, and you've got to have a lot of leads. What did Mary Kay say? Nothing happens until what? Somebody sells. And let's take it to the next level. Nothing happens until you book.
Yeah.
Would you say booking is the lifeline of your business?
Yes.
I mean, it is. So my question is, are you making 10 phone calls a day?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
One person. One person. Come on.
Okay.
One person.
And when you said people can't hear your energy over the phone, we have to be willing. I mean, you guys, my armpits used to sweat. I got into Mary Kay when I was 22. I mean, I was so nervous to talk to people. I love that you're smiling and nodding your head. Thank you. I'm not the only one.
No.
And ladies, 4 years ago, I made a decision to go back to work. I was driving a free car, was not the pink Cadillac. I want to be back in the pink Cadillac. I wanted to take my man on a top director trip, and I wanted to earn some diamond rings. I thought that would be fun. Okay. And I really wanted to help other women grow into all God created them to be. And I felt like I wasn't really passing on the dream. So I wanted to do that. So I made a choice to go back to work, but I had to make a lot of phone calls to get. And guess who was the first hostess I had? Me. Me. How many of you need a booking? Book yourself. I bet you can invite people over to your house. Or let's say you're my really good girlfriend. I'd say, would you partner with me and could we do a party together? And we both invite people. Or if you just got 2 friends to each bring a friend, you guys could book your own party. And what is today? Monday, you could have it Thursday or Saturday at your house. People don't need a lot of time. They can do it like this, but the key is you've got to make those phone calls. So write that down. I will make 10 phone calls. But let me go back to this bag. I really want you to have a bag. Now, some of you guys are really creative and make cute little goodie bags. No. I carry around hand cream samples that have my label on them, and I hand them to you, and I say to you, may I give you a gift? And so everybody say those words. May I give you a gift?
No one says no.
Right, they don't. May I give you a gift? And then I just say, you've been so nice. I'd love to pamper the Mary Kay facial. How could I connect with you? Could I invite you to an event? You guys have it every week. So you just ask everybody, can I invite you to an event? And the event is tonight, your weekly meetings, or a facial would be an event. Anything's an event. And so I say, what's the best way to connect with you? And you either write it on a notepad or I put it in my phone. And like if I met you at TJ Maxx, you would be Susie TJ Maxx. Because if I don't remember your name, I got to go back.
Yeah.
I got to go back and so you're that until you join my team or something, then you go. Right.
That's
So,
true.
and then if I'm at the bank and I had a little more time, I might say, what is your favorite lip color? Do you like lip gloss or lipstick? I just put a smattering. I even have foundation primer in here because every once in a while you'll find Little Miss a la natural that doesn't want any lip color, whatever. But I would say my favorite #1 gift is yours.
Hand cream.
Hand cream. That is by far my
And you
favorite.
have your name on it?
Oh, absolutely. My label.
Just
Email
little
on
stickers,
inside.
the label.
On MK Connections, you can get labels. But guess what one of my new consultants did? She used Avery labels because it took a while to get her label, and she did an Avery label and put her name and phone number. And I mean, I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I always have little skincare surveys because guys, you are driving around in your car, and just like what Candace said is so right. You can walk in and do an office appreciation anywhere. We could walk in anywhere. All we would need is a few little samples or say, I'm doing a drawing this week for working women. And I would just love for your office to be included. And you could hand out these and hand out samples from your goodie bag. If you didn't have your roses with you, just be creative. If you go into an office, like if you have an appointment for eyes or any dentist, anything, just say, has anyone done a Mary Kay office appreciation here? I would love to. I'll be back tomorrow with some goodies. I mean, everywhere you go, the thing is we just have to be brave and bold. Everybody say, I am brave.
I am brave.
We just have to be brave. And I will tell you, Mary Kay has been so out of my comfort zone at so many levels. At so many levels. I mean, I'm just being honest. And most of us that have persevered and stayed in Mary Kay a long time, this did not come naturally. Most of us are very servant, minded. We like helping other people, but it's really stepping out of our comfort zone to be asking people for their name and phone number, or does that make sense? So I heard you say that sometimes you don't always feel like calling. What is your first name again? Debbie. So if I could teach you one thing tonight, just one thing, it would be believe. Everybody say believe.
Believe.
And if I can teach you how to control your attitude, like she told you she had a escape where she would do her quiet time with the Lord or whatever it would be, because you got to learn to get yourself back on track and shift pretty quick in Mary Kay. Because even for us as $1 million directors, our confidence might wane on something. Like I called another $1 million director last week and I was saying, okay, I need to be a better closer with my marketing chat. So I was talking to her about words to say, just tell me. And then she just boxed me words that she says, okay. And then I wrote it on a 3x5 card and then you memorize it. I mean, we still look for key words. We're still feeding off each other. Like we haven't arrived in Mary Kay. We're always learning. Like I was taking notes while everybody's talking. Like I'm going to go back and review. I might go back and teach what I've learned at my meeting. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to be really willing to grow and be whittled and shaped through this. So if I could teach you emotional management really quick so that you would go through this in 5 to 10 minutes, I would love for you to keep this and share it with all your new recruits. And let me tell you why. If you don't learn emotional management in Mary Kay, and really in life, you'll just always be this up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, because people are going to disappoint you. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people. What? Crazy. Your family will disappoint you, your relatives, your neighbor, your whatever. So let's just look at the reality of this. Okay, most of us when we come into Mary Kay are pretty excited, right? But at some point, putting out lead boxes, calling our friends, or like picking up the phone, or whatever it is you need to do an office appreciation. I moved 4 years ago and didn't know anybody in the Prescott area. So 4 years ago, I started over. And I didn't have anybody to book unless I went out and did a booking. So I decided to go back to work in August, and then 3 months later, we moved. So I started over as a brand new consultant 4 years ago. And I feel like God put me through all that so that I could grow and learn and feel real relatable to all my new consultants. Oh my gosh. Because I got really frustrated at things. And then I was like, why did I set this goal? I really didn't want to do this. Because, right. And then
no one's ever been there either, right?
or have you just not wanted to come to the meeting on a Monday and you're like, oh my gosh. Or like you don't want to do whatever you're supposed to do. It is okay if fear sets in. Now, how do you overcome fear? Reach up, always reach up. And how will you get rid of fear?
Do it.
You really just have to do it. There is no way around it. A little kid that wants to learn to ride a bike and that is afraid when they take their training wheels off. Are they afraid?
Yes.
But if they don't try it, they're never going to learn to ride a bike. We are no different as adults in Mary Kay. We must learn to overcome the fear. But the only way Candace and I have grown through this, or anybody, is we just do it. And it does get easier. It does. But that doesn't mean you're not going to hit a roadblock at some time. That's why you always reach up. Everybody raise your right arm up. Always reach up. Like I wouldn't sit, like Candace and I are $1 million directors. We can connect and feed off of each other. But would two new beauty consultants want to feed off each other? No, neither. Or even, you have to always learn to reach up. And I think that's the beauty of Mary Kay, is that we're all willing to help each other. Now, there's going to be some of you that aren't willing to push through the fear, and then you just settle for whatever, and then you kind of get mad you even did this. You really didn't want to do it. But then you start blaming your recruiter or whoever or whatever and blah, blah, blah. So then you get to recommitment. Now, I would like you guys to learn to do this in like 5 minutes. okay? Instead of
We
buy.
would all like to learn too.
Yeah, we would too. But I will tell you, there are days, even at driving a pink Cadillac and everything like that, that I still sometimes just like, oh, sometimes you work out of discipline because it's what we do. And then some days are very joy-filled and fun, and then sometimes days are not. Okay. So are you with me? But learn to ride the peaks, the valleys, the ups and downs. If I will tell you anything, it is worth it. It is worth it. To have the freedom, flexibility, and financial earning power, it is powerful. Okay? And the reason why I say that is my family has benefited from it. I mean, my husband went to work in ministry, and my Mary Kay income, even though it wasn't huge then, it was still a great asset. I mean, and then 4 years ago, I've been able to quadruple my income. I have a mid six-figure income. That is incredible for a woman today. And 4 years ago, I, made a decision. So how many of you would like to make a decision to give yourself a raise?
Yep.
Yes. But you have to be willing to do the work. There's no free lunch. There's no free lunch. So I want you to keep this around because you got to understand it. And this isn't just about Mary Kay. This is life and emotional management. Do you know people in your life that are, like, I've learned to be more of a chameleon. Like, I can go sit in a meeting now. I'm a pretty take charge person, but I can go sit in meetings now and let other people volunteer to do things, because I've learned to let other people lead. Are you with me? We can all grow and learn, just like we can grow and learn to be better managers of our emotions. Just like we teach little children not to throw a tantrum or different things. We as adults can learn, and this is really good for life, right? This isn't just about Mary Kay. But what I have found, the one thing in Mary Kay is that women do not believe. Like, they don't have enough belief in themselves. And that's probably the biggest thing I feel like I work with. But I have over 200 people on my team, and that is the one thing we deal with, is belief. So everybody say believe.
Believe.
And you have to say over and over that I am worthy, I am enough. When I was driving the Black Equinox, trying to earn the Cadillac, I literally sat in tears in my driveway because I was going out to put lead boxes. I was kind of tired of not seeing results. You know that sometimes it takes 90 days to see the results. Like, you put the work in, work, and then you see the results. Do you know that? So don't worry if you don't have this instant success. I mean, I wasn't super great at this at the beginning. Now, some of you are. I hear you're not really.
I'm brand new. I started September 30th.
Right. Now, some people do, but that is not the norm. Let's give her no hand for being a
Let's hope I'm never normal.
But you know what? You know what I love is it doesn't really matter where you start, it's where you finish. Like, you just keep going. And I always believe if God gives you a dream, there's a reason. Like, I never knew when I first came into America that I'd end up being a single mom. I never knew that my dad would die suddenly, my mom, I lost my parents. Like, I didn't know that I would need the sisterhood of Mary Kay to help me through a lot of things that happened in my life. When I was a single mom, I never had to go get a full-time job. And people were always asking me, are you going to get a job? I'd say, no, I already have one. It's a great one. I saved $5,000 cash as a single mom to take my kids to Disney World. And I took my babysitter with us. The four of us went and had a great time. Yeah, you can either wallow in your pity or you can figure out a way to persevere and push through. I mean, believe me, was it hard? Yes. I went from a pink Cadillac to the Mid Premier Club to the Grand Achiever through my separation divorce. And it was not fun, But you know what? You just persevere and push on. So everybody say, push through.
Push through.
The hard.
The hard.
I mean, I would write that down, and every time you're thinking about something, push through the hard. And this isn't just Mary Kay, this is life. Like, you might be going through something with your job or with a relationship or, we live in a microwave world that everybody wants instant results and instant gratification. And sometimes things take time. Like, I didn't get good at this overnight. And I still am learning and growing. Like I was on a coaching call with a national sales director in the last week. Like I am always learning and growing. And so is Candace. Like that, I think that's the beauty of Mary Kay. It's always fun. It's always changing. My office manager, who's Kelly, who's been with me like almost a year and a half now, she says, and she likes everything organized, like our whatever we do in September, she's thinking we can do next September. And I was trying to explain to her, Mary Kay does promotions, and we never know what it's going to be till the first of the month. They don't tell the directors ahead of time. They don't even tell nationals. And so she goes, now I get why you told me we can't really run the same things every year, year after year. And it's like, and she's kind of figured out kind of how Mary Kay works. And she goes, it's kind of fun. Y'all are always having new creative, the marketing people in Mary Kay are pretty good.
Yes.
Would you agree? They're always giving us fun new things. So your thing is you got to get what's between your ears right. You know, because people like to be, if anybody asks you how your business is doing, what would Mary Kay Ash tell you to do?
Great.
Instead of, you know, giving them, well, right now I'm taking a little time off or, you know, whatever, you know, or, you know, just when people ask you how to do it, it's great. It's great as long as you work it. But some of you don't work it. I mean, let's just be honest. So you got to figure it out. So just when people, because if you were going to go have knee surgery, would you go to anybody who didn't do very many knee surgeries?
No.
Well, no one wants to do Mary Kay facial if you're not, if you act like you never do them. So act like you do them. You don't lie. You know, it's kind of like when my dad was in ICU and we knew he was going to die. I had to go by the cleaners to pick something up on the way to the hospital. And the lady said, how are you doing? I said, great. I don't know her from Adam. Why would I share my tale of woe with her? Now, if you called me and you're my best friend, I would tell you my dad is dying. Are you with me? Do you see the difference? We are there to bless other people and encourage other people. So learn the difference. So we can control what's between our two little heads. And Mary Kay always said, your attitude determines your altitude. And she was right. I mean, Mary Kay Ash has a lot of wisdom, right? So how are you going to keep what's between your two little ears in a positive fashion? Affirmations like I am, everybody say out loud, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I have level 10 confidence.
I have level 10
Now, push your
confidence.
shoulders back a little bit. I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am enough.
I am
I
enough.
have level 10 confidence.
I have level 10 confidence.
Even as $1 million director, I'm with these 11, there's 11 of us this year. And I'm like, I'm on the top director trip, we're on the helicopter, there's 5 couples on the helicopter together. There were even sometimes I had to say, you're worthy, you earned this. You know, because it was like, wow, like I love all these women. And like sometimes I think they're way better and more talented than me, but I can't live there. I need to feel like I am enough. I am good enough. My team was great enough. Like, but there's times I feel inadequate. So you have to remember, people though want to be around busy, positive, happy, successful people. Are you attracting other people to you? Do you smile at people? Like, do you know that it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown? Like we really, you know, honestly, sometimes I was a guest speaker at a retreat this past weekend of Fall Advance. And I literally looked at this class of consultants, if there were at least 50 in there. I said, ladies, you guys aren't even smiling back at me or not. Some of you are nodding. I said, so I don't even know if I'd want to do a facial with you guys. Smile. You know what Mary Kay Ash said? Smile and nod your head and tilt it a little bit to the right. Smile and nod your head. You know? And Mary Kay Ash talked about that. I mean, she really did. Mary Kay was the most positive woman, and she'd been through a lot of hardship in her life. Can you imagine her husband's off at the war and then he comes home and leaves her with 3 little kids? Right a month before she opens Mary Kay Cosmetics, her husband dies of a heart attack at the kitchen table. Right there, they're eating breakfast. You know, I mean, like, read her autobiography again. I always think she really has the bloodiest knees of them all. And even though I'm now a top director in Mary Kay, I have such admiration for top directors and nationals because I know they have bloodier knees than me. Because they really did. You know, to get successful, I don't care what business you are in, it's perseverance. And I'm living proof. Because I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't persevered through the hard. So, I hope you wrote that down. Push through. Everybody say it. Push through the hard. We have to push through the hard. Okay? Now, the next thing I would tell you is, I think I already said, are you making 10 phone calls a day? That one of my girls said, well, I don't have 10 people to call. I said, oh, yes, you do. You just aren't willing to call them. I bet you have 10 people to call. There is no way, and I know her. She has more than 100 customers. You have 10 people to call. I mean, come on. So I just want to know, I'm sure Candace has all sorts of tools like this for you, but I want you to at least make sure you're using something. And I know there's some new people that this could benefit. I don't care if you use a legal pad, a notebook, a spiral, it doesn't really matter. A lot of my girls find success with the bubble sheets.
Yes, we have those.
Good. I figured you did. So what I do is my girls keep some sort of sheet for potential bookings and another one for potential team members. So if that would help you, I think every time you meet someone, you got to put them on the bubble. You got to put them somewhere so you do not forget them. Like when you get home, everybody you met that day, I mean, really, you guys, if you aren't meeting people when you're out and about, you're missing the boat. Because there's people everywhere. You know, everybody just smile and nod your head. You can do it. And then I'm going to give you a sheet with scripts. I feel like you guys probably get a boatload of scripts, right? And so but here's what I did. We broke them down into dialogues for different, like if you're doing a leadership call with Candace, or if you're doing, like there's a new consultant. I even have a text that you can give your hostess to send out to her guests. Like it's a great thing. Like I would keep this and then tweak it to whatever promotion you're doing. Are you with me? But I think the key is for you to not reinvent the wheel. Don't reinvent the wheel. Like there's so many good scripts out, right? So many good things. But why would you make 10 phone calls a day? So want me to tell how I do it? I do my 10 calls, then I do 10 follow-up text messages. So after I get to number 10, I go back to 1 and start texting them. Copy, paste. Because that gives them maybe a minute to have listened to the call. Sometimes they never listen to the message. And then I shoot a text that says, hey girl, just left you a voicemail, and whatever it is I'm catching. And I never give them too much information other than I want to talk to you about a free product promotion. Most of the thing I'm trying to entice them with free product, right? So you've got to, and try to end, if you want feedback, a lot of times I'm even ending my text messages. Would you text me back so I know you got this? Like sometimes I've even, and that's not on here, but I've started doing that. How many of you feel like you need to do that?
I have done it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's work. And I'm going to pass this around just because people always ask me to, when I was at the weekend this weekend. Here you go. I put these in from training. But I want you to set that up and I want you to make 2. And here's why. Are you guys ever changing purses or tote bags? And you're always looking. So I want you to have 2 of these. So that way you have, and I just want you to have something they can see through. And then they look, I'm telling you what, everybody wants to know what's in the bag. That's why I put lip color and I put different little things, right? Okay, so can everybody do that?
Yes.
You know, the key is taking action. But if I could encourage you with one thing, what would it be?
Believe.
Believe. It is. It's believe. Yeah, that too. But you really have to do the activity. So many times I feel like, I even had a girl come to me last week and she goes, Diane, I'm getting such good results with my phone calls. And I started laughing because I've been on this kick for quite a few weeks, but she wasn't doing the phone calls. And she wants to move up, you know, and I said, isn't it amazing? Right? Isn't it amazing? And then when you do the 10 phone calls and do the follow-up text, have you guys all probably seen the 21-day booking? Yeah. I'm sure most of you have. If you're new and you haven't, it's just a discipline where, how many days does it take to create a discipline?
21.
30.
21. Oh. It is, they say it's 21. So if you did, right, that's okay. If you did 21, and then some of you that are really trying to go into DIQ, you might amp that up and double or triple that number, of course. But for a lot of you, 10 will be plenty. Now, how do you find the time to do that? Some of you work another job. I'd say 80 to 90% of you work another job. So when you have a 15-minute break, or let's say I got to the meeting early, I might spend 10 minutes out in the car making those calls before I came in. Or if I got out of the meeting right now, I would, and if I had a few minutes to call, I would do it before I drove home, because then by the time I got home, it might be too late. Are you with me? So you can fit 10 calls in on a break, on a lunch hour, when you're waiting for something. My husband always laughs because I sit in the driveway on my phone because I'm in the middle of a phone call, or something, right? So how many of you are willing to do the activity to get the results?
Yes.
And really, if you would focus on getting 2 new bookings on your date book every day, every problem would be solved in your business. I mean, I've just never found a girl that's doing facials that isn't happy. It's when we're not doing anything that's kind of discouraging. You look at your product, you look at this, you look at everybody else doing it, and you're like, I just need to do it. But you don't get good at it till you do more. So it's one of those things. I can promise you the first 4 months of my business, I almost quit. And I can tell you, I can still visualize it. I mean, I literally, you guys, it took me 4 months to sell $100 to a group of people. I was not like you. No, I was not. I was not like you. I really didn't know how to do this very well. Plus, we didn't have the internet. I didn't have a meeting. There were a lot of factors into that. I was really the blind leading the blind. But I really want you to know it really doesn't. I've never known anybody that kept trying that couldn't do this business. It's a pretty skill-based business we could all learn. But what happens is it's a head game, and it's a head game even for some of my sister directors or consultants trying to move up, just so you know. If you can get your head right and stay positive and stay encouraged. And ladies, it doesn't matter if your goal is 1 face a week or 10 faces a week. Having any kind of goal is great. Whether you sell $50 a week or $500 a week, it doesn't matter. Are you with me? It just depends what your goal is. Because during different times of my life, I've had different size of goals. Doesn't make one right. You got to find out what's good for you. And if you need to take a week off, you take a week off, and then you might double it the next week. But figure out, don't compare yourself. You have to put blinders on and not compare yourself to somebody who's doing more than you or somebody. Does that make sense? I think it's really important to run your own race and know that you are worthy, that you are enough. And then you set your goal. And then if you wanted to hold 1 party a week, you would probably need to book 2 because people cancel. And we put all our eggs in one basket. When somebody gets sick, real things happen. But could you do this? Could you confirm people a little stronger maybe? And I would just say, Susie, I've reserved Saturday morning at 10 just for you. If for some reason something comes up, would you let me know? Because I've reserved that time just for you. And if I tell you yes, I've told somebody else no. Like you've got to at least be firm with people. Okay. So the key is be a professional. And when you treat yourself like a professional, like look the part. You guys, I was a PE major in college. I was a tomboy. I mean, I didn't wear foundation when I came in. Like I wore mascara and lip gloss, and watch videos, practice what you're doing. In fact, we're going to play just a little game. I think I brought it in, Haley, in the bag. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to get points. Everybody do this on your phone or on a scratch piece of paper. Are you ready? Okay. All right. Are you ready? You're going to just get $100 points. All right. Are you ready? Give yourself 100 points. I'm going to get my little game up. Hold on. Okay. Give yourself 100 points if you were here 10 minutes early tonight. Because you got to be 10 minutes early. I was a cheerleading coach for a while, and I said, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. Yes. Okay. If you brought a guest with you, give yourself 100 points. Yay for guests. We love guests. Very good. If you have on your Mary Kay pin or name badge, give yourself 100 points. Your Mary Kay pin or name badge, 100 points. If you have been taking notes on your phone or, notebook, give yourself 100 points. Mary Kay Ash herself said the faintest ink is better than the most retentive memory. And you're a teacher, right? We all know that. Even if you never look at this again, you'll remember it more. Write it down. Give yourself 100 points if you have used the charcoal mask or facial peel in the last 72 hours. Facial, skin revealing facial peel or charcoal mask, 100 for either one. Do you have on Mary Kay eyeshadow and lipstick? If you have both on, give yourself 100 points. Lip gloss does count, but you have to have both eyeshadow and you guys, you know, if I'm not doing anything on a Saturday, sometimes I don't wear eyeshadow. You know, I mean, I was a teenager. Like, I really am Miss Yoga. Like, I really like to be super casual. I buy cute casual now, but anyway. Yeah, yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out because I was thinking about it, but I like my lips stained, and I haven't seen that as an option with Mary Kay. Is there a way to put the idea out there so that
Oh yeah.
hopefully
Anytime Mary Kay, until they can come up with a stain that does not damage your lip, there won't be.
Okay.
But definitely under resources, if you go to InTouch, go to resources, and then go to contact us and send them an email. There's and you guys, please be giving them feedback. You know how the lip gloss or the lip balm is cutting, splitting, and you probably put that on your return form, but go to resources, contact us, and write a blurb to product marketing and says, this keeps happening. I know y'all are aware, but please fix this. You know, like sandwich it in with some icing, but definitely give your feedback. And when they can make it where it doesn't hurt the lips, they'll probably make it, because we always do. We have had some little variations that are limited edition. Okay, because remember, guys, you got to be wearing Mary Kay head to toe. Okay, if you use your Skin Vigorate brush this morning when you wash your face, give yourself 100 points. Skin Vigorate brush twice a day. Okay, are y'all ready for this one? If you have on a skirt or dress, give yourself 100 points.
Yay.
Woo-hoo. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, if you have been at the last 3 success meetings, give yourself 100 points. And if you're brand new, you get 100 points. If you're brand new, you get 100 points. So if you've been at the last 3 meetings, give yourself 100 points. Because those who show up, awesome. I love it. Okay, everybody add your points up. We might have to do a tiebreaker, but that's okay. Oh, I know. No, one more. I forgot it. Okay, give yourself 100 points for every face you did this past week. 100 points for every face. Every face. Okay, everybody stand up because you are here tonight, so I know you have 100 points. Okay, stay, so we got to clap. How do y'all do that? We go 100. What do we do? Power clap. Ready? So we go 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. Yay! Y'all agree? All right, now we're at 1,100, 1,200, 13, 14, 15.
Overachiever.
Woo! And I have some little note cards for you. There you go. That's perfect. So that's my thank you. Now, that's just a little fun game I love to play. But why would I give thank you notes? Every time I do a facial, how many of you guys have gone into Hobby Lobby or Michael's and you see these cardstock? And they're like little cardstock squares. They come in a little pack. Use your 40% off coupon. Those are great postcards. And postcards are a little less expensive than a regular stamp. So what if we wrote a thank you note every time we did a facial and got together with somebody? I want you to know you will tie people to you. Remember, it's all about the relationship. It's all about relationship with people, okay? So smile and nod your head more. And just know that you are enough and that you are worthy. And I would really just challenge you to do those 10 calls and follow up. And for those of you that want to move up, do a little bit more. So I don't think I gave you the scripts. These are super easy scripts. I'm sure you have lots of amazing ones with Candace, but I thought these have really helped my girls. And if they help you, then great. And my daughter-in-law, she's so great. She makes it easy to read, you know, and So she did them on the sheet for me a while back. So, yay. Well, y'all are an amazing group. I'm so excited to see your success. Way to go. Yay, yay, yay. I know you guys are going to have a lot of pink power days, right? Yes.
Can you give us what you do and get referrals? What's your favorite way to do it?
My favorite way is I use the back of the profile card because that's just easier for me. I know a lot of y'all use fabulous sheets, which are great. So whatever you like, and I just say the nicest compliment you could do is refer me to some of your friends. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give your friends a gift card just for connecting with me. Because the only way I can grow my business is to bless other people. And I would love to meet some of your friends. And then I put music on, and then I let them use the back of their profile. And then here's the key though. When I do my one-on-one checkouts with everybody, then I ask them, who are your 3 favorite people that you think would be most likely to say yes? And if I'm limited on time, those are the people I follow up with first. So if I sit down with you, I'd say, who on this list should we? And then if she says she just had a baby, like I write down works with her. I try to connect. If I have time, I will take a picture of the 2 of us so I could send that to her. Yeah. But every once in a while I forget that. But yeah, but I do ask her who on the list. Yep. I'm really looking for quality as much as I am quantity, personally. But you can do it however you want. If you want the fabulous sheet with 50 million, whatever works for you. But I give them a gift card. And and then I ask them, would you do me a favor? Would you tell your friends that you gave my name, that you gave their name and number, and tell them how much fun you had? So they're more likely to say yes. Yep. And really just, you guys visualize and believe some of the power. Like when you go into a party, really look at what you can give, not about how much you can sell, and have this aura of success and believe good things, visualize good things. It really is all wrapped up in what's between your 2 little ears. And I pray, and I really just ask God to bring me the women who would need to be blessed by Mary Kay, that even if I do a team building thing and she doesn't say yes, I say, Lord, she's meant to be on our team. Let her make that yes decision. Let her believe in herself enough. Most women don't do it mostly because of fear, so I really do just pray a lot over my business and, pray for blessing and just, and really the more I always feel like the more I've made in Mary Kay, the more we've been able to give back to other people. Honestly, that's what I love about so many of my top director friends, and you're going to have much more of an ability. So that's motivating to me as well. Yes. So yay, y'all have an amazing day.
We all learned a lot from Miss Diane today.
Yay.
I am great.
I am great.
I am wonderful.
I am wonderful.
I'm a woman of excellence.
I'm a woman of excellence.
I'm
I'm a superstar.
I will let nobody push my buttons.
I will let nobody push my buttons.
I will let nobody rain on my parade.
I will let nobody rain on my parade.
I will go over.
I will go over.
I will go under.
I will go under.
I will go around.
I will go around.
I will go straight through.
I'll go straight through.
Any obstacle that comes my way.
Any obstacle that comes my way.
Because I'm highly motivated.
Because I'm highly motivated.
Truly dedicated.
Truly dedicated.
And a future free car driver in the making.
And a future free car driver in the making.
Hi guys.
I don't know how to end it. Leave meeting.
End meeting.
End meeting.